Hey guys, it's me Meteor, and here we're going to do a new segment on my channel I like to call What is Kirby Canon? So to start it off, we'll be beginning with one of the first places in the timeline, Magolor and the Ancients. Now, Magolor is obviously no veteran to this series. In fact, he is nowhere near the beginning of the timeline either. However, he does mention a race in Kirby's Return to Dreamland called the Ancients. These Ancients were a race that actually created such legendary objects such as the Star Rod, the Novas, the legendary crown he was even chasing after, and even the Lore Star Cutter. Now, these objects themselves have been shown in the games to grant both power for good and for bad. The game doesn't really talk about the Ancients beyond that in terms of their origins, their whereabouts, their purpose, or anything. That's really all they were talked about. Even still, Magolor knew enough about the Ancients to actually know of the presence of the Master Crown to try and capture it. In fact, he actually stole the Lore Star Cutter from Landia himself just so he could try to defeat Landia. Obviously, this plan backfired on him. Landia was able to overpower him and destroy his ship. Magolor had no choice but to open a portal and land over in Popstar. However, why would Magolor choose Popstar of all places? Well, according to Magolor himself, Magolor is actually aware of Kirby and his actions, and actually knows some people from his home dimension who actually were defeated by Kirby himself. Who Magolor is actually talking about in that sentence is a whole nother story. Some people speculate that it's Marx, however, that seems quite unlikely. Yes, he was talking about the Novas in his sentence, however, he's talking about someone from another dimension. Marx shows no evidence to be from any new dimension at all. In fact, he was actually shown one time, and he was actually in the same galaxy as Kirby himself. And he showed no type of attacks or anything of being able to even make portals to begin with. Another option, however, is Galactonite. Now, Galactonite actually has been confirmed to be from another dimension entirely in Overtext, and even in the battle against him in Return to Dreamland, you actually fight him on a space that looks almost like Calcondra, which gives the evidence that maybe Magolor was actually talking about Galactonite himself. Of course, that is all just pure speculation, and nothing is really confirmed by that by any stretch. In fact, Magolor could even be talking about someone else entirely. Who knows? It doesn't really matter. What does matter, however, is that Magolor was just telling Kirby all this to actually get him to help, to trick him, so he could actually get Kirby to do the dirty work for him, defeat Landia, and actually steal the Master Crown from him. Now, it's no secret as to what happens next. Magolor takes possession of the crown, becomes super powerful, tries to kill Kirby and take over Popstar, but ends up failing, actually gets taken over by the crown itself, and becomes a manifestation of the crown, and rather not really Magolor himself anymore. This form, of course, is known as Magolor's Soul. Now, I should point out one thing that Magolor's Soul is not. Magolor's Soul is not 03 as some people think, because, oh look, he has an eyeball in his mouth! Congratulations, you figured that out, good job. There's also Drasha, who has an eye for a mouth. There's Necrodius. There's also Dark Crafter. But none of those are 0. In fact, it's hard to even think of Magolor's Soul even being a remnant of dark matter entirely, just for the fact that Landia wore the crown just fine is not corrupted, because Landia was actually using the power for good and actually had a complete control of the power. In fact, a little thing of note is that Landia with the crown is able to be combined from all four into one being. Ever since Landia lost the crown, Landia never merged itself back together. Therefore, it might be that Landia actually used that power to actually form itself. But, once again, that's just pure speculation. After Magolor's soul is defeated, you actually see the crown shatter, and you see Magolor himself in his regular pose, and he kind of looks like he gets vaporized into nothingness. In fact, I thought he was dead. A lot of people thought he was dead, but he wasn't. You see, Magolor actually made another appearance in Kirby's Dream Collection in the bonus stages. And when he actually appeared, he actually remembers the events that happened in Return to Dreamland, and was actually making an amusement park for Kirby for all his past transgressions and as an apology. I wasn't sure whether or not to accept that game as canon, because it just seemed like some kind of fun little thing they decided to do just to add a little anniversary. However, according to a Miiverse post by one of the developers of Kirby, it has been confirmed that Magolor is in fact alive, and actually, instead of being vaporized like I thought, Magolor actually escaped to a time between space and time. In fact, that's actually official canon. Magolor actually did escape, and once he did find an escape, he actually went on to make other amusement parks elsewhere. In fact, he actually made another amusement park over in DDD's Drum Dash Deluxe, and that's why you also see Magolor make an appearance there. So, that being said, that's pretty much everything you need to know about Magolor himself, and I know I touched before earlier on the Ancients and the Novas, so I think next time in What is Kirby Canon, we'll be tackling on Marks and the Novas, and probably some more about Kirby Superstar Ultra. Anyway, I will see you guys next time.